Right, folks, this is a video from Gavin Pepper, but Michael O'Keefe has posted it up on his Twitter, his X, and I want you to see this here because this is absolutely shocking, and this involves one of my own, a northerner. And would you see this here?
Here we are, folks, down here at the migrant camp, where the news media are acting like they care. How are you, Musa?
So this guy here, Musa, I think you call him, he's wanted in Turkey. I believe I've been looking into this guy, and they're parading this guy all around Dublin as some sort of a hero.
Have you not been arrested in Turkey yet?
Yeah.
You're still wanted in Turkey?
Yes.
Have you nothing to say that?
Yes.
Don't make threats to me. Excuse me, I can hear you.
Classic Antifa outfit with the black sort of headscarf around the mouth.
How are you doing? Would you not report about the Irish homeless people now? Are you down here looking for votes? You're here for the legal migrants. Excuse me, I'm not talking to you. Don't put your hands on me.
Now what you'll notice here is that when it comes to anybody confronting these people, like if you're confronting NGOs, you're confronting the corrupt government, they're allowed to confront you, or their allies are allowed to confront you, but it's as soon as you get in their face, that's when it's a no-go. So you've seen the guy approach him. It's very, very crucial to the whole video.
Don't put your hands on me, I'm allowed to talk. Would you not report on the Irish homeless people? Excuse me, don't put your hands on me, guard. Excuse me, I'm in trouble.
So there's twice the man's approached him and he's touched him now. So the guards jump in there now and actually uphold the law and say, look, step away from him. He's well in his right to record here.
To make my recording. Don't you put your hands on me, Musa. Guard, will you tell that chap to stand back?
He's not doing anything.
He's actually nudging off me.
Just get the camera over his face.
Well,
Get the camera out of his face. Get the cameras out of his face. He's walked up to him and put the and has made the camera be in his face. So actually, right there under Irish law, I think that's. I think that cop was wrong there.
he's the one coming up close to me.
Just go, you step back.
Yeah, you step back. Would you not report on the Irish homeless people now?
How do you
You're coming up looking for votes. Is that all it is?
They're not politicians.
Well, who are you? Virgin Media, giving the man he lives.
You don't even know
Virgin Media, giving the man he lives.
You don't even know what you're
What do you mean I don't need what I'm talking about?
wandered in off the street.
No, I didn't wander.
That's another tactic that they use. You've just wandered in off the street. You don't know what you're talking about. While these people are basically state media and state-paid NGOs that are coming in here to sort of record and pump out onto like RTE or whatever news organisation. So the sheep, the most of Ireland's woken has awakened to what's actually happening here, but there's still a majority of the people that are sheep that just believe everything that they hear.
Off the street. These are illegal migrants looking for free accommodation in Ireland. What about the Irish homeless and your NGOs looking at?
And that's what he wants to do now. He wants to take Gavin Pepper away so then they can finish recording.
No, you just here. You don't care about the Irish homeless. You jumping on the bandwagon.
So see that little whisper in the ear from the woman who looks like a terrorist, that she's just whispered the tactics of what they're trying to do. They're going to try to swarm him. Now I noticed this, that she whispered in the girl with the black scarf around her mouth, whispered in the other girl's ear, and then this is where they start swarming Gavin Pepper. She basically said, this is what we're going to do.
You don't care about the Irish people. You are here jumping on the bandwagon. No, we need homes for the Irish 14,000 Irish homeless families. No, you don't. You're here about these people. Why don't you go out in Finglas on the M50? There's people in tents. How come you don't go out to them? Because you're here looking for publicity. Just like Jan O'Riordan was. Yeah, you don't care about the Irish homeless. Look at this. Bunch of free.
Like, you have to look at that, right? That's it cleaned up, and there's tents piling up now. They're starting to pile up already. And what people need to realise is that this is being promoted under the new far left regime in Ireland. That it's basically come in, have a tent, and just for whatever reason, I don't know why they would want this. Just put a cap on the refugees that come in, or just at least have, if you don't have a passport, then you're not getting in, because 70% of the people that come into Ireland right now don't have identification. And it's allowed under the Irish law. It's absolutely crazy. So, this is what it's creating here: slums in Dublin.
freeloaders. All the NGOs coming down looking for these people. Yes, are all looking freeloaders. Can I help you? Freeloaders. Report on the Irish homeless. What about our own people? Actually, I'm not. Get your facts right. See, there you go. All you do is spread misinformation. Get your facts right. Can I help you?
No, you're spreading.
So that thing that whispered in her ear went and got Colonel Gaddafi here. And Colonel Gaddafi's came over here with the green hat. Now, this guy's a northerner. Now, Woody, I'll be able to break down the lingo this guy has. Woody, hear what he says.
Freeloaders, NGOs, look after the Irish homeless. We 14,000 Irish families. What about the 4,000 Irish kids? What about the 4,000?
Homes for all, homes for the Irish. But how is there going to be any homes for the Irish people whenever you're allowing in droves of men, undocumented, thousands, something like 400 per week, and there's no limit, and you have came out here and say we don't want a limit to it. So how can there be homes for all whenever you're inflating the prices of all the houses? And this is something that nobody ever takes the angle with. They're bringing in these people, they're being housed, and then this is rising the prices of the market to get into a house. So it's actually it's given an imbalance, while the Irish people that are working aren't receiving any of the benefit, while the people who are coming in don't have to work and receive all of the benefit. And I mean, they think that you're stupid.
Irish kids. You don't care about. They're not Irish. They're the legal immigrants. God, he's up my face now. Is that all right? Is it? Yeah, clown you. Get out of my face.
Homes for all.
Look after the Irish people. Irish people. What? I'm a scumbag. Am I?
So you have to understand, right? These are communists right now. These are communists. They're not even socialists. They're 100% communists. They would love nothing more than full state control of what he's doing right now. If they had power, they would get rid of him. They would put him into a gulag.
I'm a scumbag. You wanted my talking. You want
this guy here now. Now, would he hear what he has to say?
My talking belongs to the Irish. Ireland belongs to the Irish. You are not welcome here. You are illegal immigrants. Go home. Go home. Get your facts right. Get your facts right. Get your facts right. NGOs looking for votes.
West
Brit. I'm Irish.
You're a loyalist.
So he's just called them a loyalist there, right? And a Brit. So what that is up here, you call somebody a loyalist up here, it means that they're loyal to the Queen. And this is a common phrase used by heavy socialists and communists up here if they want to discredit their fellow Irishman. So for instance, if you disagree with their communist or socialist policies, they'll call you a loyalist to try to discredit you. When just in fact you've just got a normal point of view. You don't want to live in a socialist or communist society. So that's what he's doing there, and that's actually quite common up here. As you can see by the guy's clothes, he's an absolute whack job, and he's probably a liability. He thinks he's probably in the IRA or the paramilitaries, and he thinks, I'm going to come in here and discredit this guy. He's completely discredited, and that's that. I'm noticing that up here too with people calling me a loyalist when actually no, I'm for a united Ireland. I just don't want to be a united Ireland under Sharia law and the place like California or San Francisco, drug addicts everywhere. Actively right now, there's fentanyl being brought in via the open border policy, and a black market has been created in Ireland, and there is a human trafficking issue too, where there's children being brought in here and put into state care, and within minutes they're abducted and they're found a year later in a brothel at the age of 15. So these are issues under the policies of the far left regime that has infiltrated Ireland. But you have to understand, he is far left, and that's why he's calling them a loyalist. We're not loyalists. I'm definitely not a loyalist. I'm for a united Ireland, for the Irish people, but not internationally. And that's a tactic that they will use to discredit you and actually get a rise out of you. Now, he might have got a bigger rise out of me if I was there, because I know what that really means. But I'm assuming Gavin would know what it means too. But he's from the Republic of Ireland, and it wouldn't really have hit him as hard. I'm not going to lie to you. If somebody, in the moment, if somebody had called you a loyalist, I don't know how I would react. He's trying to provoke a reaction because he is a coward and he wants him locked up, and he's trying to use the state to get him locked up. The Irish people have went from fighting for their civil rights, fighting against a tyrannical system, to bending over backwards and accepting a tyrannical system right up their jacksy. And that's what they want: communism and heavy socialism. And it's worrying times, guys. This is worrying times, especially when there is whack jobs like that about.
What do you mean? What do we do here? Who are you? Who are you?
Never mind.
Exactly, there you go. You know who I am. I'll say who I am. Nobody pulls my strings. I'm for myself. I'm for me.
So as you can hear, English fascist, you're an English fascist. Now this is now you talk about racism, folks. I mean, this is proper racism like you've never seen before in your life. This is leftist racism. This isn't just being a wee bit worried about your neighbour. This is proper racism. So there is a segment to the north here of people, like a section of people who cannot get by, Protestant and Catholic. There's some areas of Protestant areas you just cannot go into because they just do not want Catholics, Irish people in there. And then there's other places of like heavy Irish areas of where if you walked in and you're an Englishman or you're an English woman, you're probably going to be met with hostilities. And these are backwards, and he's one of them. And these are the things that we're trying to get away from in the north here, and we're trying to run a proper country while these people are holding us back.
All you Polish, I'm by myself. Ireland belongs to the Irish. Get your facts right. What did you say?
You heard what
You're a filthy animal. You're a filthy animal. That's all you are.
You're the one.
A filthy animal.
He knows it too. He understands that he's using he's got the protection of the Garda. He's got the protection of the state, and he's trying to provoke your guy and chinning him, because then what he'll do is he'll just squeal to the cops and get him lifted, and and make all the statements. So that's what he's trying to do here, and that's the motive behind this, and that's why if I ever find myself in a situation like this and you see me and you think to yourself, why isn't he chinning him? Because I know what their tactics are. The only time you would deal with a person like this is when you're down a back alley and there's no cameras.
Look at the big smile on you. You're down here fighting for the legal migrants, but you don't care about the Irish homeless. What about the 14,000 Irish people? What do you mean homes for all? There's not enough homes for all.
You're punching
There's not enough for all.
punching up at the
What are you
government.
talking about?
They punching up at the
You're
government.
here doing the dirty work for the government. You're here doing the dirty work for the government. You're doing the government.
You can see the big white frothing lips coming off him. That's because there's hatred. I do believe, look, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a religious person. I do believe people like this here are possessed by some type of demonic entity, with the white froth and stuff coming out of their mouth, the smiles on their face. You can see it, like a soulless, like they don't have much behind the eyes, because they're driven by hate and bitterness. And that's what you have up here in the north, and there's a lot of people like that on both sides. On the other side of it, there's people like me and and I'm a Catholic. I'm an Irish nationalist who wants a united Ireland, but I know unionists who want the north here to stay a part of Britain, but they're normal thinking people. While you've got people like this on both sides, they're absolute whack jobs.
Dirty walk. Hey, I know reading down here. Was I on the reading not down here looking for votes? Paul movie, do you support Paul movie?
Who's Paul movie?
Paul Richard Boyd Barrett, do you support them? They're coming, yeah, well they're to me way.
We're not politicians, or we don't.
You're down here sticking up for the illegal immigrants, but you don't stick up for Irish homeless.
Of course we
You don't blame the one.
This here is absolutely shocking. What you're witnessing right now is absolutely shocking. They're not politicians, so who are they? They're NGOs. That's who they are, or they're worse than an NGO. They're paid separately, backhanders, to come in just in case situations like this arise, and that's where you've got Detective Doofus here with his green hat on, thinking that he's a member of the IRA, full on communist that doesn't know his arse from his elbow, and that's worrying, because these people will do anything for their slave masters.
You did.
Remember you met me?
Yeah, you were there for the legal immigrants that day as well, sticking Palestinian flags out the window. What about Irish
There
people?
were actually homeless people out of emergency accommodation. Emergency
Yeah, listen, I know.
Now you'll see he'll start bringing up the Palestinian thing now. Palestine. 100%. Listen, it's not my fight, but I hope that they stop bombing the Palestinians. But if you wanted to get a rise out of this guy, just come up to him with an Israeli flag, which I shouldn't suggest you do, because I don't support Israel myself. But that's how limited these people are. They're very, very visual, and they're not really intelligent.
Which is what you stand for. Yeah. I absolutely do. I'm not hearing about that. I'm hearing about Irish people that are homeless. Okay. You couldn't care less. Most of you wanted in Togi. Illegal immigrants.
Fascist.
Look at you. You're only a toe rag.
What?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
What?
Like, what are you going to do?
What are you
You're
gonna
standing
do?
in me face talking nonsense.
You can see the Garda behind him. He's not dispersing that because the Garda works for the state. And when I was in the Republic of Ireland, when I was in Dublin, I realised that the Garda were actually acting a bit like Nazis to a certain degree. Not all of them. Some of them were decent lads, but a few of them were just outright Nazis. And he wants the Gavin Pepper here to chin him so then he can arrest him. But you make no mistake about this. If your other fellow there, Colonel Gaddafi, will call him, if he hits him, Gavin will still get arrested for provoking that. That's how this works out.
What?
What are you going to do?
You're going to do fuck all.
No, I'm not a violent
You're only a
person.
mouth.
You're the violent person.
You're only a mouth.
You're the one up in my face. I'm walking away.
Step
Walk
back.
away.
Illegal immigrants are not welcome.
As you can see there, the guy approached him, went into his face, and the guard there told Gavin to step back. So Gavin's actually in a really vulnerable situation here.
Illegal migrants are not welcome.
Free Ireland!
No, look after our own people. Look after our own people. There you go. People have had enough of it. Illegal migrants are not welcome here.